Right guys, yes, Halloween is coming up, so I thought I might do a few stories or experiences, what I've had that's happened to me over the years. And is it paranormal? Is it in my mind? Who knows? But to me, it was real. Yeah, in my mind, it was real. Okay, so might not be in other people's minds, but mine was. So, if you want to pause the video here, get yourself a nice beverage, whether that be a hot one, a cold one, alcoholic one, you do you. And we'll get into it. So, I was watching a YouTube influencer the other day, and she read out some stories of paranormal activity that happened to other people across the world. Yeah, so most of my experiences happened after my dad passed, or one of my pets passed, or when my mum passed, or my granddad passed. So most of the paranormal activity, or whether it was in my mind, happened when I had a traumatic time in my life. And then there's dreams too that I've had. So I think there's several that I've had, but I think the most memorable one was some of the most memorable ones was when my dad passed away, and I must have been pre-teen, about 11, 12, and basically my mum went to her boyfriend's for the weekend. Dirty little stop it. I don't know where my sister was. I think she'd gone out somewhere. So it's just me and the dog in this big, I want to say Victorian house, but I don't think it was. But it was a big house, an old house. It'd been there for years. A lovely little house. Big house, little house. Lovely little house. I would love to go and visit it again. So whoever's living in 233 Saddleware Road, can I come and see it? Anyway, in this house, if anything was to happen in the kitchen, you probably wouldn't hear it if you were in the living room. So let's get that out there. So anyway, I was in the house on my own with my dog Sam. May you rest in peace. The washing up in the kitchen hadn't been done. So I, as a preteen, the washing up weren't important to me, you know. So there was me. Do you remember those old cassette record player things? You know, you had a record player on top and then you had a cassette player down below. This is going back to the early 90s. You had a cassette player, you had your record player. And so I was listening to my music with some headphones in, not these kind of headphones, I mean the real sort of like 80s kind of headphones, plugged in with the music up full blast, so I wouldn't have been able to hear a thing. Right, so listening to my music, dogs in the house, can't hear a thing. Or you would think I wouldn't hear a thing. However, while I was listening to my music, I heard this almighty crash and the dog barking. Right? I've got music on full blast. How could I hear that? But I heard it. So I turned off the music, took my headphones off. The dog was barking furiously. I mean, absolutely going for it, barking. I'm thinking, what the and I heard that crash, so I left it a few minutes to see whether I heard a crash again. I didn't hear anything. So I went into the kitchen where the dog was still going mad, and I looked towards the sink. The washing up had been done. Now, how can you explain that? Was the washing up already done and I thought it wasn't? But in the sink it was dirty washing, and then it had been done. So how could my mind play tricks on me to say the washing up is done when I looked earlier on and it wasn't done? So at that moment, as a round about 11, 12-year-old, I freaked out. I got my keys. I got the dog lead. I got the dog to come with me. I put the dog lead on the dog and I got out the house until I thought it was safe enough to go back in the house. So was that paranormal? Or was that in my mind? Who knows? However, in that house is where my dad passed away. So a lot of things after my dad died happened in that house. I'll go back to sort of like whenever there was a special event coming up, like my birthday or Christmas or something like that, yeah. And I'd just gone off to bed. Now, again, could be in my mind. Again, could be paranormal activity. Who knows? However, it always seemed to happen near my birthday and Christmas. Whereas I'd go to bed, I'd start nodding off, and then I'd feel something sit on my bed, like a human bottom sit on my bed. So I'd stir, I'd wake up, but there was nothing there. There was nothing there. But I felt something on my bed. So, was that paranormal activity? Or was that in my mind? After that, we moved away from that house. Oh, there was another thing I forgot to say. When my dad passed away, does anybody remember in the 80s and early 90s two aftershaves, an aftershave called Old Spice and an aftershave called Brute? Now, they're the two aftershaves my dad used to use. So also when I was feeling low or anything like that, and it was only in my bedroom for some reason, only in my bedroom, I used to get this scent. So I remember one day walking into my bedroom, and I walked in there, I went to go and close my door, and then I had this sense of smell, a strong sense of smell of Brute or Old Spice in my room, only in my room. So again, was that my sense of smell or my mind playing tricks on me? Or was that my dad coming through to me to say, "You're okay, girl. You're okay." You know? Who knows? Who knows? But I walked into my bedroom, smelled this really strong smell. I said, "Dad." Freaked myself out. I freaked myself out by saying, "Dad." I mean, you would, wouldn't you? Or is that just me? mind you, I am a bit of a morbid kind of freak. So, so I walked into my room. I said, "Dad," smelt the smell, and walked out my room again, running to my mum. My mum went into my room and she went, "I can't smell anything." At that time, I couldn't smell anything when I asked my mum, "Can you come in?" And, you know. So was that a visitation? Was that my mind playing tricks on me? Was it my sense of smell playing tricks on me? But then, after all that, as I was going to say beforehand, we moved to another location because we had to move. I'm not going to say why, but we had to move. I didn't really get any more sense of... No, I didn't have any more. After that, I didn't have any more paranormal stuff. And I didn't get any sense of paranormal activity go on in the other place that we moved to. But then we only stayed there for about 5 or 6 years, and then we moved again to be closer to my grandparents. Right, so, yeah, I moved to be closer to my grandparents. The paranormal activity started again when my granddad died. When I was with one of my ex-boyfriends, the night my granddad died, one of their pictures on my ex-boyfriend's mum's wall has been on the wall for like 20 some odd years, they said. The minute my granddad died, yeah, and we found out, and Pat's mum found out, was the exact time that their picture on their wall fell off the wall. So, was that paranormal? Who knows? Anyway, yes, my granddad passed away, and my granddad was always one of these people who always wanted to visit us, and he'd always invite himself in. We always let granddad invite himself in. He'd knock on the door, open the door, "Gooey, it's only me." He'd go like that kind of thing. And yeah, when my granddad passed away, and I freaked so many ex-boyfriends out with this, and even my husband, when this started happening, a lot of people, including my mum when it first started, I wasn't, but including my mum, got freaked out by this. So what happened is, one day I was talking to my mum, and the door opened, just randomly, back door just randomly opened. And I went, "Oh, that's weird." Closed the door, maybe it was the wind. Completely opened again. She closed it. It must be the wind. It must be the wind. It opened again. She closed it, and for the 4th time, it opened again. Yeah. So I turned around and said, "Well, just hang on, Mum. Just let me try this." She didn't know what I was going to do. I had it in my mind. It was possibly my granddad. So, this is what happened. And my dog, different dog though this time, Max. My dog was going mental in the background. Yeah, so the door opened for a 5th time. All at the same time. So every time we closed it, it would open again. So, it opened for the 5th time. I turned around and said, "Oh, come on in, Grandad. You know where you sit, don't you? I'll make a cup of tea for you. You just go and sit and make yourself comfortable." Closed the door. The door never opened until the next day, and it happened again. So I went through the same rigmarole again. We closed it about 2 or 3 times. And I said, "Hang on a minute again. Come on in, Grandad. You know where you got to sit. I'll make you a cup of tea." the door closed. Never opened again until the next day. Yeah. To start off with, when my granddad had passed, my granddad had passed, it happened continuously for about 2 or 3 days. And then after that became less and less and less so. But when it did happen, it used to usually happen when I had people around. And so I had 2 or 3 boyfriends I used to invite round, and yeah, they came round one day. It happened in front of them, and again I turned around. Oh, that's only Grandad. Oh, come on, Grandad, go and sit where you want to, and I'll get you a cup of tea. Door closed, never opened. But I had to show my ex-boyfriend the reason why I had to do that. So the next day when it happened, it never happened at the same time either. It was different timings. So when it happened again, I got my mum to close the door. It opened. Got my mum to close the door again. It opened. Got my mum to close the door again. It opened. So I turned around. Grandad, come on in then. You know, sit down, have a cup of tea. You know, close the door. Didn't happen. So, was that my granddad? Was it in my mind, my mum's mind, and everybody else's mind? Because this happened in front of people. You know, how could this be happening? And people are witnessing it as well. So how could that happen? Paranormal, or just in the mind? Who knows? However, I felt quite comforted by that everybody else, even my mum, was a little bit freaked out by it. Everybody was a little, I mean, to start off with, I was a little bit freaked out by it. But in the end, it used to happen when I was on my own. It used to happen when I was on my own. I'd be on my own, my mum would be out somewhere, living her best life, you know, and this was in the evening times, in the winter as well. And the door would just open. But it didn't freak me out because I knew that I had to say, oh, come on in, Grandad, go take a seat, I'll make a cup of tea. And I did make a cup of tea, but I only made 1 cup of tea. But I drank it. But I knew if I closed that door, it would open again. And several times I forgot because I thought, oh, it's windy, I'll just close the door. And it would open again. So that's what I had to do to keep this door closed. I had to invite my granddad in to then close the door. Spooky, not spooky. Paranormal, not paranormal. But yeah, that comforted me. Now, some people might think that I'm dabbling with something I shouldn't even be dabbling with. But at the time, no harm was coming to me. No harm was coming to me. Nothing was going on. The door just kept coming open. I invited my granddad in. So, I'm trying to think of some more. I know more has happened, but they're the 2 memorable ones that I've got. And then I've got, I don't know whether I'll put it in this vlog or not, but then I've got dreams that have happened to me as well when my dad passed. And they were so vivid, so memorable, so vivid. And there were dreams when my mum passed, and to this day I can remember so vividly. So are they visitations? And there's also, I might bring up the time when my mum passed away, about the owls. and stuff like that. So I might bring that up as well. So is that paranormal activity or not? Or is it? Right, I'm gonna go again. Like I said, I'm filming this as and when I can. You know, guys, I'm a busy kind of woman, and I have to film this when I have time. So I have to grab little snippets of time to film this. So if this film is all over the place, I do apologise. But I'm trying to do this the best I can. I've just heard a noise outside, so I'm kind of hoping that I'm paranormal. And it was a weird noise. It was like a noise that my washing machine would make, but my washing machine is not on. So usually at this point, I turn around, because this is an old building I'm in. Yeah, this is an old building that I'm in. So I usually turn around and go to if there is anything here. You're welcome to stay here. Oh, that was just that. You're welcome to stay here. Please don't scare me. Let's get on. But if you're going to make noise, at least do the housework. And that usually, for some reason, that usually works and I don't get any more sound. So whether that's me calming myself down and the mind calming down, I don't know. Or is it paranormal? I don't know. So, shall I leave you to decide again? I'll speak to you in a minute, guys. Hi guys. Yes, it's a different day today. It's Sunday. Yes, I'm in different clothes, and however, I have already recorded this film. I tried to put it up on my computer, and for some unknown reason, it's not like what it's seeing. Is it paranormal? Or is it not? But my GoPro has been going AWOL, my computers have been going AWOL, so I'm going to try this again. So, yes, another thing that strangely happened to me is when I was younger, I used to like tap dancing. And there was this one Tuesday that I went tap dancing. And it was a very foggy night. And I got my coat on, got my shoes on. Yes, I could phone. I had a mobile phone in those days. I was in my early 20s at the time. So yeah, I could, I grabbed my phone, and there was a cemetery that I had to walk past to get to my tap dancing class, because my tap dancing class was about 2 miles away. So yeah, there was this cemetery where I had to walk through. A very foggy day, so the fog must have been, I couldn't see my hand in front of my face, couldn't see it. So I was walking through this pathway on the phone to my cousin, and this is the same graveyard as my dad and my grandparents, yeah, were in. And I was walking through the pathway, completely couldn't see a thing where I was going, and I was talking and talking and talking. But there's a light, there's a street light at the end, and I knew there was a street light at the end of the path, and you wouldn't have been able to see this street light in the fog. Yeah, you just had to hope that you could get through. However, as I was getting through this really thick fog, yeah, I could see a light at the end, but I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. But I could see this light at the end, and it was really, really dim. And as I got closer and closer to going through the path, it got brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until I could see where I was going. Okay, as soon as I got through that path and near the light stopped brightening up and dimming down and brightening up. It just stopped and it was on constant, yeah? And as soon as I got through that sort of really thick, dark patch, yeah, for some reason, there was no fog after that. Oh, well, I say no fog. There was a little bit of fog, but I could see where I was going. After that, there was no thick fog. It was just, I could see where I was going. Was that strange? Was that paranormal? Was it in the mind? I don't know. But whatever it was that day guided me through that path. And I thank them for that. I know people are probably thinking, what a weirdo. You know, but these things did actually happen. Sorry about that. These things actually did happen. So, yeah, so, and I don't know why, when I feel down, or I feel scared, or anything like that, I always have a comforting presence around me, and I always have done since my father passed away, since my dad passed away. And I don't know whether you could say that's him looking after me. I don't know whether you could say that's my higher self looking after me, or whether that's my guardian angel looking after me. Because I was talking to somebody the other day and I said to them about, do you remember when I said I felt somebody sitting on my bed when I was younger? Yeah? And someone actually turned around to me and I said to them this, and they turned around and said, that's your guardian angel. So people believe. People do believe. And there's dreams as well, really weird dreams, and I'll probably try in the next couple of days do a dreams video on this, because there's a couple of dreams I want you to hear, but I've got loads of footage of the paranormal experiences that I've had that I don't think I'll be able to fit it all into one film. Like I said, I've already tried to film this film and I couldn't get it uploaded, so I'm just praying that I can film this film and get it up onto my computer, because I think if they are here and I respect them, I think they're having a little joke with me. I don't think they want me to put this film up, because I think they're having a little laugh with me, saying, "Haha, we're gonna have a bit of a fun time. You know, you want to know about paranormal? We'll give you paranormal there." You know, I think they're trying to have a little bit of a joke with me at the moment. The only thing is, I'm not laughing. Well, I am, but I ain't. But I respect them. They're free to do what they wish. Just don't hurt me. That's all I say. So another thing that happened is when my mum passed away last year, a couple of things happened. I asked her a question. Why would you ask your deceased mum a question? But I asked her a question. Is she safe? And is she looked after? Yeah, and is she partying it? Within 2 days of my mum passing away and asking this question, yeah. Do you remember last year we had kind of all 4 seasons in one day? It's like that song. All 4 seasons in one day. Yeah, I'm not a singer. yeah, we had all 4 seasons in one day. We had wind, we had rain, we had a rainbow. It's like a typhoon kind of thing. Even now, while I'm talking, the trees are going mental. It's really windy outside. Kind of freaking me out a little bit. So yeah, I've just gone back to work off a sick leave, and I was on a phased return. The night I came back, I had my auntie and my cousin and her children in the car, and as we were coming back, there was an owl. Now, to get this, you need to know my mum was a lover of owls. She absolutely adored owls. Yeah. So to get this, there was an owl at the side of the road, and I usually thought if an owl saw a car coming along or something like that, it flew off. This owl did not. This owl was transfixed onto us, staring at us, would not disengage eye contact with us. It just kept staring us down, and we, as we went past, would not move. Go figure. However, when me and my auntie and my cousin were all saying, "Oh, that's mum, making sure we're okay." Yeah. So I think she was trying to look out for me for my first day back and make sure I was fine and that I got home safe and stuff like that. But as I got out of my auntie's car, I could hear an owl hooting outside, and as I came into the door and into my bungalow, yeah, I could still hear that hooting. Now, my husband was only 10 minutes away from being home. 10 minutes away from being home. So, as he was coming up the road to where we live, which is a bit of a hill, as he was coming up it, there was an owl right in the middle of the road. Yeah? My husband could not, he didn't want to run this owl over. So, oh, excuse me. So, he flickered his lights. The owl would still not move. He did beep his horn. Now, I didn't hear a horn being beeped. So, this is what he has been saying. I don't know whether any of this is... I trust him. I believe him. But I don't know whether that actually happened to him or not. Because I don't know whether it was in his mind or whether it was paranormal activity. So... but I believe what he's saying. So, yeah, this owl would not budge after a hooter being thingied. So it was either my husband had to wait until the owl had gone, or drove round. And I think my husband in the end had to drive round this owl that wouldn't budge. And as soon as he drove up and he came through the door, I was so excited to see him, to tell him my news, that as soon as he walked in the door, he turned around to me and said, "An owl wouldn't budge from the middle of the road." And I went, "You what?" He goes, "An owl wouldn't budge." He goes, "I flickered my lights, hooted my horn, I had to go round it, yeah." He goes, "It just won't budge." So I turned around to him and go, "You know who that was, don't you?" He went, "What?" I went, "You know who that was, don't you?" He went, "Who?" I go, "That was my mum saying, look after her and make sure she's all right and look after yourself." And then Ian turned around, my husband turned around and said, "Oh, don't be so bloody daft, man. That is not your mum." So, what do you guys think? And not to cause an argument, me and my husband joke about this No, in a nice way we joke about it, not in a horrible way we joke about it. He says, oh bloody hell, your mum has not come back now. Like that. What do you guys reckon? And was it paranormal activity? Or was it in the mind? Because how can you explain an owl and a car and it not budge? So I think I'm going to leave the vlog here. I've already done my thumbnail. I hope you like my thumbnail. I thought it was an awesome thumbnail. I've got it on the computer over there because I said I'd already had filmed this, but it wouldn't pop up on the computer. So I'm going to go now. I hope you have a very nice Halloween. I hope you sleep tonight. Thank you for spending the time to have a drink of a cup of tea or coffee or alcoholic beverage. So yeah, I hope you have sweet dreams. Okay guys, I'm gonna get going now. Don't get too scared and just have a happy and safe Halloween. Bye guys.